welcome back to another episode of The Screw Room. I'm Joe.
Des.
Just a forewarning, I am a little bit under the weather. I got my tea, but like if I sound gross, I'm sorry.
Nah, you're okay.
I saw a thing online. I caught that.
Online,
yes. And I was like, ooh, I should like ask this on the podcast. So the Kool-Aid Man. Everyone knows the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh, yeah.
Breaks through the wall. Oh, yeah. Well, it's usually like after a series of oh no's.
Yeah.
Or is that only...
That's only Family Guy.
Oh.
Yeah, that was crazy because that's only Family Guy.
Oopsies. Okay, but he does...
She said breaks through the wall. That's only Family Guy.
Oh, he doesn't break through the wall?
No, he just says, oh, yeah.
Oh.
He only broke through the wall that court episode.
Family Guy really like...
Yeah.
No, he's done it a few times in Family Guy.
Okay.
Yeah. But for some reason, I thought, damn, that's some
She
good
said
branding.
only a series of oh no's.
But okay, the question is he the jar or is he the liquid?
He's the jar.
What makes you say that?
Because when he moves around, his face isn't moving. If he was the liquid, he would also be like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Fair point, but then so what is the liquid? Is it something that's vital to him? Because he's the red Kool-Aid. He doesn't switch it out like clothes.
No, he's only the red Kool-Aid.
So is that like his blood, like his intestines, his innards?
Ooh.
Like, you know, like if the jar cracks, I guess he's dead. But if the jar is spilled over, if he falls,
he probably would just be like, oh yeah.
Okay, so we think he's the jar. I think he's the jar as well, but I'm wondering about
what the red stuff is.
Yeah, like is the Kool-Aid, or is he only him when they're both together?
Oh, that would make sense. It's what brings him alive, the Kool-Aid.
Like Frosty and the and the scarf.
Yeah, that was good.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree with that one.
That one?
Yeah, that he would only be alive once the Kool-Aid
because
mixture.
That's the point. He's the Kool-Aid Man. He's not the glass.
The jar man.
The glass like pitcher.
Yeah.
Like, you know. Yeah. So like although his face and stuff is on the pitcher,
he's not him until everything is together.
The Kool-Aid is the magic.
Yes.
Kool-Aid, sponsor us.
Come on now. Look at that. You have to.
That's hilarious.
That made so much sense.
Yeah. All right.
She said after a series of oh no's. Oh boy.
Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
everyone
that's what made
knows.
it funny because everybody knows. I remember the first, like, I think I was like grade 7, grade 8, because obviously Christian household, you're not supposed to be watching Family Guy. So my friends would come to school and have jokes and all laugh, and I'm like, that sounds funny. So when
I knew the joke.
So when I finally saw it, I was in tears. Yeah, Family Guy is funny.
That's how I felt about The Simpsons, because my cousins used to watch The Simpsons and I could only watch it at their house because my mom would be like, and she wasn't super strict like as a parent with that, but she was always like, The Simpsons is such a rude show. It's not like, you know, not a good influence. I'm like, Simpsons is nothing compared to Family Guy, first of all.
It's nothing compared to the music I listen to.
I wasn't listening to bad music back then.
You don't think you were?
Well, yeah, some of these songs, we didn't know what we were singing.
Dip it low, pick it up slow, roll it up. Pop to pop that thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna show you how to make her mad. That's what you're singing at 12, 13 years old.
What is wrong with a young lady dipping it low and picking it up slow in the confines of her bedroom alone?
No, it says, I'm going to show you how to make your man say, oh.
Yeah. Show me. But I don't need to do it. I didn't have a man at that age. Actually, did I have a boyfriend? I remember, like, I had a particular elementary school boyfriend.
Boyfriend or crush?
Boyfriend.
Oh, nice.
Well, crush and then boyfriend. We were a power couple.
Oh.
We were like that track couple.
What do you consider a crush?
I was the fastest girl in school.
And he was the fastest guy.
We were like,
usually how it goes.
No, but I didn't like him because he was like fast.
No,
but
the fastest usually end up like a thing.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, anyways.
Yeah.
What would you just ask?
What do you consider a crush?
Like, oh, I like you. Like, I think you're cute. I like spending time with you. I think about you when I'm not like, you know, I'm like, I wonder what he's doing right now.
But
like
it's not
getting
something
attention
you're
from
gonna-
you. I'm like, oh, my heart's fluttering.
Yeah, but it's not something I'm gonna do about it. Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. No,
Okay.
no.
Because that's what I don't remember what me and my sister were talking about, but I had brought up crush. But her definition of crush isn't the same as mine.
What's hers?
I don't remember.
What's yours?
Mine was like yours.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
I kind of like you, but like, no.
Okay. Like, why are we saying no? Oh no! Oh no! Oh
like,
no!
I remember,
Oh,
yeah. There's a girl I had a crush on, which it's one of those things that I thought nobody knew, but they used to write like my name and her name all over the place, and like, and I was like, guys, no, like you're starting to piss me off, but secretly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last day she was moving, and the last day of her being there, my heart was so shattered because we always used to argue because she was the fastest and I was the fastest, and like track and
When were
field
you
day,
the fastest?
the only time that
I feel like you were.
the only time that I wouldn't get the only time that I
I'm
wouldn't
just
get
saying,
first place
I've known you for a long
in
time,
track
and
and
we
field
didn't
day,
talk about you being the fastest ever
track and field
until
day
this story conveniently.
is triple jump. I could never do triple jump to save my life.
That was
But
mediocre.
she would get first in everything. So by
And that
order
turned
of
you
law,
on, huh?
it did.
As
She's better than
a
me.
little 12-year-old. You're like, hell yeah.
I think I was younger than 12.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I'm like. So then the last day of school, we ended up like just chilling and talking, and like we would have been cool friends this whole time. But the competitive nature in me would not allow me to admit that I like you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's one of those like, oh, this person's my rival, but like you secretly love them, but like you're so focused on the rivalry that you can't see the love.
Yeah, but everybody else looked at it like, oh, you're competitive with her because you like her. I was like, no, it's because she thinks she's better than me, which technically, like I said, she was.
No, this guy, I low-key want to say his name because like who cares, but whatever, I won't. But yeah, he was sweet. I remember like we were friends for a long time. My 10th birthday, he was there, and like honestly, I was in tears and shambles, and his mom came and saved it because I invited some kids, like my mom's friends' kids who I didn't really know, and they were unruly as fuck. I had a pool party because I was a swimmer, so like my mom rented out the whole swim school. I didn't have a pool at my house, but like we had the whole thing to ourselves, and we went to Pizza Hut after, and they were like playing with knives and shit, and like the staff at Pizza Hut was like, get it together, you're gonna get kicked out. And I was like, oh,
my birthday.
and then like my toys, like opening my gifts, they wanted to play with everything, which I did not like because they didn't ask.
Yeah,
I'm an only child. I'm not used to someone grabbing my shit, and like,
it's
you know
my
what
birthday.
I mean?
You still shouldn't.
Yeah, so they were doing that, and then they wanted to
Where's your mom?
what do you mean?
To control her unruly friends' children.
Oh, my mom, so my dad actually supervised that party. My mom paid for everything, but my dad supervised the pool party part, and then the dinner, and then we all went back to my house for like presents and cake. And then I think my dad probably dipped after that. One of the few times he was actually decent. I just didn't realize he didn't contribute, but he was, in my eyes, I'm like, Dad, you know? So back at my house, my mom's trying to like wrangle the kids to do cake, and the dad is there, my mom's friend, those kids' dad. And they were not listening. They were running around trying to play with all of my toys, and then this kid from my school, his mom comes in to pick him up a little bit early. She sees it and gets those kids together, and she's like, you guys need to sit down, sing happy birthday to this girl, and stop mashing up her stuff. And I was like, my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law,
We're meant to be.
Yeah. Because like I think I probably had a little crush on him at that point, but like it wasn't anything crazy. Yeah. And I was like, because like at that point I'd only known him for a couple months because I was 9 when I moved to the city that I grew up in. So, and that was my 10th birthday. So it was like, you know, like I was kind of new and like whatever, but yeah, nah. I remember like holding his hand for the first time and like I wrote it in my diary. We didn't do anything. I think we did have a little peck, and like that to me was like, now I cannot confirm or deny, but you know, kids at that age, there was a rumor going around that he had bad breath. And you know the Listerine breath strips, like the little rectangle ones? The kids used to be like, oh, like, well, I definitely don't want to say his name now. They used to be like, oh, like, he needs a Listerine sandwich.
That's not nice.
I know.
Kids are such bullies.
I know. I was not one of those, obviously, but like it was mostly the boys. Well, no, I didn't smell his breath because one, it was a peck, closed mouth, no tongue. Oh my god. But yeah, we ended up being cool. I don't remember why we broke up, but like, why does any young child break up? Like, it's not a relationship.
Yeah.
And we went to separate high schools, but I remember we reconnected in high school, not in like a romantic way. I actually don't know what he was trying to do, but like he came over one day, hung out. He used to drive stick, tried to like teach me how to drive stick.
He's trying to fuck.
Maybe. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
He was like really into football, so like he put on like the football game and tried to teach me how to drive stick. Like, you think that's fucking romance for me? Yes. What? Yeah. No. That's such a teenage boy thing to do.
That's what they did in all the movies.
I'm gonna come over, put the football game on her thing. I remember I was like, what are all those lines on the screen? And he was like, oh, like that's not in real life. Like it's that's only on the TV. And I'm like, but why? Like I was like, why? And then like he was like, all right, like we can do something else. The sun was still out, so he was like, oh, like, you know how to drive? I'm like, I think at that point I'd started driving lessons, but only automatic. To this day, he's the only person who ever tried to teach me stick. We went around the block and I'm like, bring me home. I don't like
I don't want to do this anymore.
I don't like it. And we just hung out until he had to go home, and like
that was that.
Now he has a bunch of kids and a
right.
wife, and you know, here I am.
Not driving stick still. Don't understand football.
No kids, no wife, but I'm not driving stick. Driving automatic.
Yeah. I seen something on Instagram, and I wanted to share your thoughts on it.
I'm happy to give my thoughts.
Sorry, what?
I said I'm happy to give my thoughts.
Oh.
Sorry,
I thought you said you don't have any thoughts. I'm like,
sometimes,
okay.
honestly. If you had caught me an hour earlier, I'd have been like,
so it says, okay, white people, ask black people a question you've always wanted to know. Which I really didn't like that.
Because you know it's out of order.
Yeah, it's a door just to be kind of racist without making it seem like it. So the first one says, when are you going to put new batteries in the smoke detector, and why are you always talking on speakerphone? Now, personally, the battery thing I understand. I do understand.
I don't do the battery shit. You've never heard a chirp here. Never.
I only know of it because I remember.
Oh, it's a thing.
Yeah. I remember I randomly hear noises like at my friend's house, at my cousin's house, and I know exactly what it is. Change the damn battery.
It's funny. My friend, and I'm calling him out. My friend Trayvon Fulton, actually, he's a comedian. Look him up.
Yeah.
But I know he's gonna want the publicity.
Yeah. Makes sense.
He's a comedian. Look him up on Instagram, on TikTok. He is really funny. Oh God, I hope he doesn't hear me say that. But there'd be times like we're on the phone, and I'm like, if you don't change the damn batteries out of your I'm like, suppose there was an emergency.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Oh my goodness.
And the speakerphone thing, I don't understand. I feel like black people are not always on speakerphone. Like, I don't know.
So if you call me and I'm home, 11 out of 10 times, you're on speaker.
Really?
Yes. But that's if I'm home alone, like, no one, like, for me, it's like I don't like having something against my face for, like, a undetermined amount of time. Like, if it's a quick call, then I'll pick it up. Like, if
is
it's
it against your face or is it holding it? Because for me,
well, a normal phone, when you like pick it up, you put it against your ear.
No. That's what okay. So for me, like, I'm gonna show you guys. Even if I have headphones on, chances are the phone is at my ear like this.
Yeah, I don't like when.
And I walk around like this. I do this in public. I don't care, because when I have the headphones on, sometimes it's not noise cancellation. And people are like, Des, I can barely hear you. All right, great. I'm not holding the phone. I hate this motion. People walk around like this all day. Drives me insane.
I don't care about holding the phone because a lot of the time, like, I'll have my phone and I'm also like talking, like it's on speaker and I'm like scrolling through Instagram. I'm doing stuff like so I will hold it. Or if I'm being lazy, like say like I'm laying in bed, sometimes I like put it like on my chest or like beside me, like it's in proximity.
But
so
it's
not
speaker.
About yeah, because it doesn't heat up. It doesn't like get as hot. I don't need to like, you know, and I'm alone. So Fair enough. It doesn't matter. Like no one's like, I'm not going to put you on speaker if
I'm in a store.
Oh God. No, and never in public, but even if I'm home and someone's within earshot, I'm not going to do that because I think that's rude unless I say, oh, like, you're on speaker.
Yeah.
But, like, if I'm alone, guaranteed.
Okay.
It has to be a very specific reason why I can't put it on speaker.
How come you can't stay sitting down when you laugh?
Well, that's a lie because we both cackle here all the time. And
All
we
the
stay
time.
sitting down.
All the time. I can't keep my mouth closed, but yeah.
But you technically shouldn't laugh with your mouth closed because that's creepy. Like, people, yeah, people can do it, but it's creepy.
Yeah, it's weird as fuck.
But also, I feel attacked from my people. I don't like that.
I like it, and I feel like because it's so funny, sometimes you have to run away to get away to come back to regroup, and you still can't stop laughing. You know
what I love? For me, it's not a get up and run. It's a, you gotta like hit the person. And
Yeah. I'm one of the running in spot kind of throw your head back.
Yeah. My friends and I, a couple nights ago, I was out with David and we were cackling and hit it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And David's not even black, so.
Do y'all really think we're dirty? Why won't y'all eat what I cooked and brought into the office?
Let's answer the question, please.
Personally, yes. We believe that you aren't the cleanest, especially if you do have animals. We feel like you don't tend to your house the way you should when you have animals. And also, when you cook, it just tastes bland. Like, I
don't think that was part of the question.
Yeah, it was. Why won't y'all eat what I cooked and brought
the blandness.
into the office?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, are you just throwing some shots?
You guys can make some pretty damn good cookies, though. But if you got cats, I don't want the cookies.
Some of the baking.
Yeah, the baking stuff you guys are on point with.
Fire.
Yeah, but the cooking.
I know some white people who can throw down.
Absolutely.
I have I haven't talked, like an acquaintance in Arizona. Shout out to you, Heidi, because you're cooking. I still think about it sometimes. Nah, she's amazing. So it's not like, but that's a case by case. If I didn't know two people and you were to show me a picture of a black woman and a picture of a white woman and they almost looked identical except for their skin color, I'm going to lean over to my sister because, like
And it's not to say every black person can cook either.
No, because I know some that cannot. Yeah. Did Des ever tell y'all about the time he made a lasagna?
Say it.
We were at the cottage. When I tell you that thing was saltier than the Dead Sea. Oh my God. He tried to say, oh, the salt shaker, the lid was thing and it all poison attempt. Jail time. Like.
I'm going to let her finish. Are you finished?
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the time you made a lasagna?
I've been making lasagnas now.
No. Do we want to? Oh, okay then.
I was a child.
Oh, get out of here.
I was like 17?
Oh, here we go. Wow,
that's not what I thought you were going to
I know it's not. That's why I stayed quiet.
I don't know how I did that.
I don't know how you did it either.
My first ever lasagna that I made, because Des back in the day. I mean, I made something.
Yeah, for sure.
Cook the meat, do the thing, layer, bada boom, ba ba. That shit came out crispy. Like chips, but like hard. I was like, what? But I really don't know what I did. I obviously think I cooked the noodles, but I couldn't have. But I wouldn't put they're not, I don't think I use like the ones that you don't need to boil. Mm-hmm. So
even the ones you don't need to boil, I boil.
Right, yeah. Right. And I think I would do,
no answer.
But I was under the age of 18, I was a child, and you are trying to come for a child, and I don't appreciate that.
You're not a child at 18.
I said I was under 18. I was for sure like 17.
No.
Yes.
No.
How are you trying to tell me?
No, you aren't.
Also, I'm always a child of God. Let's just be clear.
Why do y'all think everyone wants to come to your cookouts? Because they're fun?
Because
the food is great?
Fire.
Everyone has a great time? Like, what are you talking about? It's a potluck.
Honestly, speaking of cookouts, Trey, we've been talking. I'm waiting for the invite. Because, he's from Virginia. So, like, that's like a southern.
Oh.
Let me get to it.
Oh, sorry.
Like, I want to experience like a southern cookout,
Oh, I don't.
Why?
It's the accents for me.
I like the accents. A little twang. But it's not like We're canceling Cotton Eye Joe.
Not her singing Cotton Eye Joe. That was really funny though.
But you know what I mean. It's not that type of accent. I think that's what you think of when you think
100%,
country. Nah,
100%.
it's not like that. You've never heard him talk before?
Trey?
Yeah.
Maybe once.
Oh, okay.
That's another smoke detector one. When little
There's
kids...
no excuse for that. Why are we like this? The smoke is... I have no, like...
There's no real answer.
We
just think the
when our
battery's
people
in
are
there forever.
When it's yelling at you every
And then you just take
30
out the battery and say, fuck
and
it.
then just say,
fuck it.
if I die, I die.
So be it. I must see the
C'est
smoke.
la vie.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. Am I right?
Right. You think in your head, like, there's a fire, I'll know.
Of course.
I don't need something to tell me.
What's that? Gone.
My lasagna.
When little kids have beads in their hair, how does that not hurt them? I'm sorry, wait. What part would hurt them?
I think like when they like move their head or like to lay on it. That's what I'm thinking. Not like, it's not like in their scalp. They don't think that, do they? I think like moving around. And honestly, yeah, if you...
Oh, yes.
If you like flash your head too hard...
I feel like I'd be feeling myself too much and take an eye out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's honestly something you just got to get used to and like just move your head in a certain way.
Yeah, I think as a kid, like I had beads in my hair before. And as a kid, like at first you're like... And they're like, all right, stop.
And then one pops you a little too hard and you're like, let me calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure my mom did it when I was younger, but like I can't even think of like pictures of me with the beads. I had like the big what?
No, there's a next one and I feel attacked. Go ahead.
Oh God. No, I mean I'm done. I want to know what that was.
If the light over the stove blows out, then what? I have that light on. All these lights could be on and I will turn on the stove light to cook. I have that light on.
Some people use it as like a nightlight. Yeah.
All the time. Sometimes when I get home in the morning, I'm like, okay, 6 a.m. It can go off now.
I think we were just ahead of our time. Like Black people, you know, like now interior design, they say like you don't just want the overhead lights. You want ambiance lighting. You want lamps. You want little like accent lights. We were doing the accent lights
way before there was accents.
Exactly. And I think that's all it is. We were just ahead of our time. So no, we're not turning off the over the stove light. Des certainly isn't. I only use it when I'm cooking though.
If you have nowhere to run, do you still laugh? This is actually a list. One person going at it.
That's an attack. If there's nowhere to run.
Why can't women swim if their hair comes out?
If their hair comes out?
Yeah. I think they just mean like, you know, when you don't want your hair to get wet.
Yeah, because most of the time, do you know how long it takes us to
they
style
don't.
our hair?
They obviously don't know.
God forbid it's straight in water? Water? Not even humidity.
Oh, no, this is foul. What happens if you arrive at work on time? I don't like that. Can you name your kid without putting that extra on it? Lakeisha, DeAndre, like with an accent.
Oh. First of all, Susan.
How long does this smoke? Actually,
y'all be naming your kids like
Tommy.
Apple.
This is Tommy.
Apple and shit like that. Fucking Barnacle. Get the fuck out of here.
Is the oven? Wow. Did you hear the Jamaican come out?
It slipped.
Is the oven on to heat the kitchen or just the house?
Who the fuck is Tommy? That's racist as fuck. And
is
both,
it a pool
bitch.
party if nobody ever gets in the pool?
Yes. We're at the pool and we're having a party.
Absolutely. Which stupid ass.
Oh no.
Y'all experience sunburn? This is for my blacker folk. You see what I'm saying? This is why I didn't like it from the beginning, because it's going to get out of pocket.
Do we have skin, bitch? Like what?
What the fuck? Do y'all wash your legs or just let the water run down? And
now you know the answer to that one.
Come on.
I actually start with my legs. No, that's a lie. I start with my arms.
Me too.
I think I work my way. Yeah.
I work my way down to the mid and then up.
So it depends, right? Like I always wash my face in the sink, and then I don't wash my hair every shower. So usually like a regular everyday shower is like neck down, and I use exfoliating gloves. So I will put like I was gonna say shampoo, body wash on it, lather that up, and then I start with the arms, work my way, torso. I bend my arm back to get my back. Then I do one leg, feet, toes, ankle, the back of the knee, everything, and then go to the next one. And then you got to do like the other areas. You got to use a different washcloth for that, and a different type. I don't use like the regular body wash either. Like
yeah,
it's a process. Yeah.
So there's your answer, stupid ass.
Was that the last one?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
it was getting crazy.
You want to know something? That it was not to my face. It was back in the day. It was like a YouTube comment, but it was directed towards me. That a white person asked. They asked if we are black, why our palms are white.
You know what's funny? I had a similar thing directed towards me, to my face.
Oh.
Is it that you're so dark that I'll show you guys in a second, that the back of your hand and your palm are so different that you just have a straight line going down it? So look at your hand, Joe. Joe, look at your hand. Joe, God damn it, look at your hand. Don't cover it. Look at it. You see how yours kind of blends? Like you can see there's a difference, but it's a
gradient.
Yeah.
It's ombre. show your camera.
You see that?
Yeah, mine's definitely a lot more subtle.
There are things that people in my life have pointed out to me.
That's not about being so black, though.
But that's what she said.
That's just how your pigment has decided to end.
So that's one. My caterpillar eyebrows is two.
One? Who does this for one? One.
No, one.
I would even accept one, like, and count backwards. That is insane. Is that because you're black too, or? 4, 5. Des, are you like a toddler? Who counts one?
But why does this have to be 5? 2, 3, 4, 5. Exactly.
Because
what?
The thumb is not a finger, so we start with our fingers.
Why would I start with my finger? Start with the one that's not a thing. You start with 0. 0 is not a number.
No, you don't. I don't say 0, 1, 2, 3. I say 1, 2, 3. What are you talking about?
I was actually watching The Office the other day, and it made me laugh like it always does. And the guy
I still haven't watched it. I think about you all the time when I hear The Office, because I know that's like your comfort show.
My everything. And one guy was like to the girl, okay, tell me about your day. She's like, oh, like I woke up and then, I did this. And he's like, you never start with I woke up, because obviously you woke up.
I mean.
And when he said it, I was like, huh.
Kind of
so
fair.
She's like, oh, sorry. Suddenly, I opened my eyes. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
But it's true that when we talk about our days, we will say, like, I woke up.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, because it's obviously implied.
That you're awake. Yeah.
You know what I hate? When people say, like, oh, like, I'll see you at 10 a.m. in the morning. A.m. in the morning?
What else would it be? What does a.m. and p.m. stand for?
You got your phone?
You know what's funny? I always told people it stands for after midnight and past midnight. I don't know.
I don't believe that's it, but like that kind of makes sense.
I'm actually close. It's Latin.
That makes sense.
It stands for before midday and after midday.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like everyone knows if you say AM, we're talking about the morning.
Yeah,
if you say PM, so like why? Yeah. It's like those little things. But yeah, white people don't come in our comments and with questions.
Just forget. Like who opened the door for that?
You.
Fact.
Or did someone who tweeted the initial question? Them. They're the problem.
100% agreed. It was.
Call them out by name.
No, 100% I will. What? Why do I keep saying 100%?
You're just feeling 100 today.
That boy funny. I don't approve.
And you know what? It's not funny.
It's not.
No.
I didn't laugh.
No, I mean,
we did.
We made ourselves laugh, though.
Yeah, exactly.
These white people didn't make us laugh.
No, they're not funny.
No. Okay, let me ask you about, like, in an ideal world, you and your wife, would you have separate bedrooms?
No.
Why? Because I'm about it. Leave me alone.
Because why would we need to? Would we have separate spaces that we can do, like this is my space for when I want to be, but separate bedrooms?
Yeah.
No.
I want to sprawl when I sleep.
I want to cuddle.
I don't
always want to cuddle. Don't touch me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
we can cuddle in one person's room. Oh, come to my room tonight. Imagine hitting like your wife up with like a you up text, like, ooh, keep it.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we're so naughty, but we're not because we're married. But but like you can go all out with all of your pillows, your decorations, your whatever, and I can, if I want bare minimum. Blackout. What if someone likes, they don't care and someone wants blackout curtains?
I understand what you mean. That's a tough one.
But honestly, I've slept alone for so long that when I sleep next to someone, I'm just like, ugh, love you, but like,
I have a friend like that. Like when he sleeps beside someone, like he doesn't have a good sleep ever.
No, my body knows.
I don't know. That's a tough one for me. That is very tough.
I say I'm all about separate bedrooms, separate bathrooms, separate houses. Like
that's a tough one for me. I don't know if I can answer that.
But scientifically, it's proven that like it helps because back in the day, like they used to sleep separate. Or
yes.
I think it was separate beds.
Yeah,
or was
separate
it separate
beds,
rooms?
Beds.
Because if we're doing all that now, I'm not having 2 twin beds in my room. Like, give me a whole separate room.
Actually, I think it's separate rooms.
I think it started with separate rooms and then moved to separate beds.
And then all of a sudden we're attached.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But I saw a thing because Raven Simone and her wife, Miranda, if I'm not mistaken, were talking about it. And they actually have separate bedrooms and it works for them. And I agree.
I think for everyone, what works for you guys, and what doesn't. And it's okay. Because at this point in life, we understand that not everything has to be structured the way that everybody else structures it. Mm-hmm. And I was having this conversation with 2 friends, but we haven't talked like in years, but like whatever, talk here and there. And we were just having a conversation, and I was telling them like I 100% believe in polygamy. Like it's not for everyone, no, but if it works for some people, it works. If that's what it takes for someone to be honest, that's what it takes. And
like the Jamaican men.
Exactly. And there should be nothing wrong with that. There's no need to like look at somebody who has like, oh, you and your wife have 2 separate bedrooms. That's weird. Mm-hmm. That's weird for you, but it works for us. So I'm team what works. What doesn't.
You know what I don't get? Why is it that the kids can have their own room, but the people paying the bills gotta shack up together?
Crazy.
We pay an arm, a leg, a thigh,
torso,
everything.
Don't forget the torso.
Everything.
Yeah.
Just to
have the smallest amount of space in the house, because the kids end up taking over the living room,
and the kids take up your space too. They want, can I get in bed with you? We don't have space for each other.
Yeah.
I'm
Not
sorry.
you with no kids.
Well, I'm dealing with my dog. Literally, I'm like
That's
on
true.
the edge of glory with him in the bed. You would think that he's like a big dog. No. I mean, yeah, like Des said, what works for you, but I think what works for me is to be left alone. Like, I'm not, like, for real. I think it would be nice. Like, we can cuddle, we can do whatever. Or like,
yeah, but at the same time, like, go.
Yeah, when we're done, like, that feeling of like when you have sex with someone, you just want to roll over and sleep?
Yes.
Imagine
Absolutely.
that, but they get the fuck out. Ooh, sounds great, doesn't it? Yeah, that's how I feel.
That makes sense. Yeah.
What's the scenario that you have now?
Oh. I was on Instagram, obviously, because I do nothing else with my life, and I came across a podcast. Don't make noise. Great. 8 at the table.
Okay.
And the scenario or the story given was you have your significant other, and it's not that they go out all the time, but recently they've been going out, and it's a pattern where they're coming home at 5 a.m. Now, it's the guy who has the issue. Mm-hmm. So he addresses his wife and says, hey, I don't want you coming home at 5 a.m. I don't think that's necessary. I think it's inappropriate, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So she says, okay, 4 a.m. How do you feel about that?
She's not wrong.
Okay. She's not wrong
because you told me you don't want me coming home at 5. I could come home at 4:45. I could come home at 6. I'm just saying. So I'm giving you what you're asking for. I'll come home at 4. That's great. What's the problem?
You don't feel like that's being a little petty.
Like on the nose?
Petty. Because, yes, I'm saying 5. But you understand.
Is it petty if I'm just doing, like, you could have said, I don't want you coming home past 1 a.m. or past midnight or late, or like, can we discuss a time? You didn't say that. You said you don't want me coming home at 5 and I'm obliging. That's not petty. I'm giving you exactly what you want. What's petty about obliging? I'm actually being generous.
That was so crazy because I wasn't sure if it was you or me laughing.
Oh, God. I said something the other day. I don't remember what the word was. It was just a normal sentence. And someone's like, you know when like you hang out with someone so much that you start to sound like them? I'm like, yeah. They're like, you sounded like Des.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
And they only know you through the podcast.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
like,
good.
you sounded like Des. I'm like, oh, shit. No, I don't like that.
I do think that, because in this scenario, we can only go based off of what we know. Mm-hmm. He said, I don't want you coming home at 5.
Yeah.
And she said, okay, I'll come home at 4.
Uh-huh.
I do think she understood what he meant. And I do feel like she was being a little bit petty because he's saying, hey, obviously 5 and 4 are 2 different times, yes. But realistically, is it actually?
It can get a lot done in an hour.
And later on, I believe later on in the podcast, she goes on, or the host, one of the hosts, go on to say, okay, well, he's the one with the problem. So just like you said, he could have came up with a more distinct number. He could have came up with, hey, I don't want you coming home at 5. I think you shouldn't be home later than 2:30.
If you have the problem, you need to bring the problem to me. I don't know what the hell you're thinking. You said don't come home at 5. I said bet
4. And she was also
that's
saying
being generous.
That it's not a all the time thing. Lately it's been a thing because all the girls are together, and it's not very often that we're together. Mm. Does that make a difference for you?
Yeah. Well, it should.
It's
because like if I want to be out, let me live. But like, yeah, if I don't see this person all the time, of course I want to spend time with them.
So, okay. In my opinion, if that's the case, I feel like this can be discussions ahead of time. For example, hey, Joe, so all the boys are here. We want to do a couple things, blah, blah. I might not be home until 5. Instead of just showing up home at 5.
But also, if Friday nights are nights with the boys and I come home at 5, like, why does it have to be a discussion every single time? Or I should say with the girls, because that's crazy out with the boys every night till 5 if it were me. But yeah.
And I think for the guy, well, by the sounds of it, it's not something that I've brought up multiple times. It's like I'm waiting to see. That's what it sounds like. Mm. It's not like, hey, I've been talking about this, and it's like I've been waiting and see how you've been moving, and now I'm gonna address it because I've noticed the pattern that I was hoping wouldn't be a pattern.
Right.
And I just think it could be a healthier discussion rather than just I don't want you coming home at 5. And okay, well, I'll come home at 4.
That's not on me though.
I think it's on both parties.
Problem. But that's the thing. It can't be a discussion unless you bring it to me as a discussion. If you just say, I don't want you coming home at 5, I'm going to say, all right. Or I'm going to say no. But like, I'd be like, yeah, sure. Forget 4, 3.
But
2,
okay.
30.
Like we've talked about before, like, especially I think we spoke about it last week with both parties being involved in conversation. Mm-hmm. So obviously I know you're upset or I'm upset, technically, the guy. Mm-hmm. And I'm coming towards you. It might not be the best way. It might not be the right words I'm using, but you understand the issue I have is you getting home at a certain time. So couldn't it be, okay, what's the issue with me getting home at 5? I'm letting you know where I am, what I'm doing, and you know, the ladies are in the ends and it's been a while.
Can I be like very blunt? It's like, what if I don't care about what the issue is? Like, I don't care to hear it.
Fact. I understand that.
Sometimes you just need to be like, all right. Like, you don't want me coming home at 5?
Okay.
We're not, that's it. We can leave it there. I don't need to get it. And then now it's like, by the time we're done this conversation, it's 5 a.m. Like, shit.
That's crazy.
I could have been out the whole time.
That's crazy.
No, but.
By the time we're done this conversation at 5 a.m. is crazy.
I just think that, like, if you have a problem, if you don't like my solution, if I say 4 and you're like, that's not enough, then come to me with a different, like, but that's on you. Like, it's not on me.
So don't you feel like that's going to cause more problems? So let's say I'm like, oh, I don't want you coming home at 5.
I think you're creating problems for yourself if you're not communicating properly.
And you're like 4. And I'm like, no, 4 is almost no different than 5. That's still too late.
Hit me with an offer. Because if you say 11,
but see, even like
I'm coming home at 11 a.m.
Even
just to be,
even
now
looking at your
petty.
face now you look annoyed. Because,
I am. Actually that did annoy me
because you said you don't want me home at 5. I said okay 4. Now you're telling me no, not 4.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like you have to be able to articulate your feelings and your needs in a better way. If you don't like the way I'm going to respond, then change how you are phrasing the question. Because what fair. I'm doing is not wrong. I'm saying yes. Sure, babe. I'll come home earlier. A whole ass hour. What more do you want from me? Shit. Like, I'm actually obliging. So unless you can change the way you're saying it to articulate your needs better, I don't think I'm doing anything wrong.
So do you think they're married, in a marriage, like, do you think that should have crossed her mind at all?
Yeah, if you know me.
If you know me.
Yeah.
Okay. If you know me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you know your
partner, so you should have already thought that, hey, maybe this would be a little thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, that's just kind of
weird.
My point of view.
Okay. Yeah. No, I understand. I can understand and respect that. And that goes out to everybody, not just the scenario. If you have a problem with something your partner's doing, then think about what you're going to say before you say it. Figure out the words you want to use before you use them, and figuring out what you actually are asking your partner.
Yeah.
Because in this scenario, yes, 5 a.m. I might feel like is too early or too late for you to be getting home. So, what time do I think wouldn't bother me? Hey, I know you've been out, these last couple of nights and you've been getting home at 5. Honestly, it is starting to bother me. There's no way you can get home at like 3:30 and then go from there.
But don't say 3:30 and then when I get home 3:30
you're still upset. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yes, agreed.
But yes, the phrasing it that way is better because you get what you want from the jump.
Yeah, and you get it out there where you stand, and the other person has, you can negotiate certain things.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, it's just that, the girls are in the area. We had gone here and, there was this going on. And I was texting you to let you know whatever the case is. And yeah. Okay. That's fair.
Okay. I'm going to read a listener question and then we're going to explain a little something.
A little something?
A little something. Okay. Where is it? Oh my God.
Don't stop.
Okay. If you guys are watching and listening, we take listener questions every single episode. So if you want to write in, if you want to be anonymous or not, that's an option. You can write in with a question, a story. This person gave us a little challenge, a little request.
Okay.
Hold on. My nose is running. Okay. Sorry, y'all, that was gross. Subject, role reversal. They aren't anonymous, and they said, "Hi, you two. For my question today, I challenge you to answer questions and give perspectives from the other one's point of view. What I mean by that is Des would tap into the side of him that agrees with Joe and answer that way, and Joe would do the same, but with the part of her that agrees with Des. So, not a parody or joking around, really tap into the other person and walk in their shoes while answering. Also, I'm staying a non because I don't want to get roasted for this challenge. That part was for you.
No, I figured.
So, the last couple topics, do you think they noticed?
I think some people noticed because your answers were very like...
Honestly, I loved it.
It felt good, didn't it?
It did. It felt good to just be like, A plus B
equals C.
And I don't give a fuck about anything else.
Because now let's backtrack. Let's backtrack to the last question. Joe, I 100% agree with you.
I know you do. Because and
if you have
I agree
a problem,
with you too. Because it was the side of me that typically agrees with Des, and I would be like, yes, well. And like, I started dying when you were like, okay, but like, we have to go with the information that's presented to us. I was like,
because that's what you do all the time.
But I'm like, this bitch didn't have. That was not part of the challenge. That was not part of the challenge.
Oh, but for me, like I was wow. For me, the scenario itself, and because of how we had to do it, it reminded me of Caravana a couple years ago when I was talking about girlfriend.
Oh, we remember guys that look like you.
Let's backtrack for those who don't. So one Caravana, which is a carnival for us, Caribbean folk. Girlfriend had came to me and she wanted to dress up in costume and dance around, which that's what they do
in a parade. Like she's not just like on the streets.
That's true. So she had told me that's what she wanted to do, and she said, "Are you okay with that?" And I said, "Yes, I'm okay with that." However, there's different types of costumes they wear. They have like the thong kind of costumes. They have the regular panty kind of costumes. They have shorts. They have different types of costumes. And I said, however, I'm not okay with the thong or the panty one. I'm okay with the shorts one. And then that turned into her saying, okay, well, I don't want to wear the shorts because I've done it before. I don't like it. It's not comfortable for me. And if that's the case, then I just won't play. Well, okay. So for me and hearing this situation, that's what it reminded me of. You told me you're not okay with me coming home at 5. So I said 4. What's the problem? So for the guy to think that is disrespectful and she was being rude or vindictive or whatever by saying 4, I disagree with. I presented a time that you didn't present. Mm-hmm. You said you're not okay with 5. Okay, 4. Like you said, an hour, a lot can happen in an hour. That's a big difference. Coming home at 12 and coming home at 1, that's a big jump. 1 and 2, big jump. Same thing. So if you have the problem, I feel like you should come up with what you think is the solution, mm-hmm. and then like we can meet in the middle somewhere.
And like you said, like the person could be like, okay, like I know what they're trying to say, like they obviously don't mean 4.
Yeah.
Like they could, but why should they have to if you're not phrasing it that way?
Yeah.
Or you're not even saying like, oh, I don't like when you come home at 5. Can you come home earlier? Like 2.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you can just add the
like 2, 3 o'clock, you know? Yeah.
Like it's much more simple.
And same thing. Don't tell me a time. And then when I start coming home at that time, you're getting upset.
Yeah. That mindset pisses people off though.
Which one?
The one that you normally have and that I also share
no,
right now.
Because I know.
Because people want you to accommodate
their thoughts, their
way of thinking.
Yep.
And honestly, y'all might be getting a brand new bitch after this because
after I said it.
No, because I'm just like I didn't say anything I don't agree with. Like this, I wasn't playing. Was I tapping into Des? Yes. Was I disagreeing? Absolutely not. And I'm just like, because you tapping into me, wasn't that more exhausting?
It was so exhausting. I'm here like, okay.
Always having to think about other people's feelings.
It's crazy. It's insane. Why would you guys do that?
I feel like it's the right thing to do.
It's not.
And like I would want someone to do it for me, but I'm like, no one does that for me. So why can't I
say
just
what you mean and mean what you say? Simple. And you know I'm very choosy with my words.
And that's why, because you know that you're going to take things literally, so you're going to say things exactly how you want them to be said.
Do you want to go to the store with me? No. Why are you upset because I told you no? You want to hear what you want to hear. That's crazy. That's
But if you
selfish.
had asked Des, can you please come to the store with me? He'll be like, all right, fine.
Simple.
It's like, do I really do? But you're
do
asking
I
me,
want to?
No.
I think it was yesterday. What were we talking about? Oh, walking in the mall. Me and girlfriend were talking about walking in the mall because she's pregnant and she can barely walk, but she wanted to walk in the mall. So we went walking and she's like, sorry if I'm slowing you down. I didn't reply. Wow, Des. No, babe, it's okay. You're not slowing me down. I said, do you want me to lie to you or do you want the truth? Because I'm very confused what you want from me at times. You want me to never lie to you, but you want me to lie to you when it makes you feel better.
It's more of like a pandering to the feelings, you know?
Lying. Because when I pander to my feelings, I'm a liar. So I'm confused what you guys want. And I've done this thing where, like, I'm not lying. Like, if I'm not happy, I will tell you I'm not happy. But now you're not happy that I'm not happy. That doesn't make sense.
Des also, like, we were teenagers. Des was the first man, and probably the only man, to teach me the art of getting as close to the line of lying as possible without actually lying. So therefore,
you're not lying. You're not lying.
Yeah.
So I have a friend, and they call everybody Buki. I guess it was in a song or something.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So they call everybody Buki. So one time I had called them, or they had called me, and they said, "Hey, Buki," and I just, whenever they do that, because they know I don't really like it, I call them their full name. So I had called them their full name. So yesterday we're on the phone and they're like, oh, by the way, the other day when I had called you, was I on speaker? Like, because it felt weird. I felt like, oh, shoot, maybe I shouldn't have called you that. Da, da, da. And I'm like, it's not that serious, because if she had asked me why you call me that, I would have told her because X, Y, Z, you know,
calls everyone that.
And you're trying to annoy me and I call you by your full name, da, 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 to annoy you. And she was just like, you just have an answer for everything. I'm like, should I not? Like, what if girlfriend had heard you and was like, why is she calling you Buki? Da, da, da. What do you want me to do about what she calls everybody? Hey, don't call me that. I've done that. And she's still calling me that. So I'm going to call you by your full name that you don't like. Tit for tat. Come on now. We're locked in, Anonymous.
Ew. Have I gone too far? Have I gone down the path of, I don't know.
Have I crossed that line?
Next week I'm gonna come back with the beard and the dress.
Again, you had the beard before Halloween.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. You
did didn't like that.
No, you did good. It was good.
You didn't like looking at me though.
No, I didn't. I did.
But I'm like, shit. Now we speak.
I feel we're gonna watch this back and laugh.
Together.
We laughed the exact same. It was like
I couldn't, then hearing it made me laugh more. Yeah, and then it was like, rah, 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 like.
Oh, do I have it on this phone? No.
There's only one other person I've ever done that with. In unison, evil
an old
laugh
friend.
With. Yeah, David.
Oh, I said an old friend. You said yeah, and then gave me the name that I didn't think it was.
Oh, who'd you think it was?
Old friend.
Oh, no.
Does this laugh sound like me? Somebody sent me this and said, I swear that's your laugh. Men doing shit. Now.
So, no. It does not sound like you in tone.
Yes.
The type of laugh
is okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I know exact video because he starts shaking him up. Yeah. You're actually higher pitched.
I get it from my mama.
Oh my God. I'm going to show you something.
One day I'm going to record my mom laughing so you guys can hear.
Do it. Do it. Oh, sorry, y'all. Oh my God.
Ooh, NW.
Sorry, it's TikTok, so you know I couldn't stop the sound. I gotta go to my inbox. Now, the video itself doesn't matter. It's the woman in the video.
Okay.
I have grave concern.
I want it to be quiet. Can I do that? Look at this video. Who the fuck does that look like?
I don't know, because at first glance, I thought it was you.
Especially cover up the lower half of her face, like not the mouth.
Yeah.
Like eyes and nose, right?
At first glance, I really thought it was you.
My friend sent me that video and was like, you got a sister out there. And I'm like, shit, I see it too. You know, usually sometimes you don't see it. Why are you studying her?
That's so crazy.
I know.
That's what took me so long to answer.
Why are you turn? It's okay, because I'm going to put it up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I'm like, if you look at it like that.
No, yeah, it's gone. But yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I'm like, shit.
Like, as soon as you gave me the phone, I'm like, oh. And then you're like, who does that look like? I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, you thought it was me the whole time?
No, like, at first I thought it was you, but I realized it wasn't.
I'm going to blame your eyes.
So when you said, who does it look like? And I'm like, Des, do I lie or do I tell the truth?
No, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, the truth is I thought it was you. And you're like, oh, okay. I was like, woo!
Yeah.
Imagine I'm like you and you're like,
how
Des.
dare you? Yeah.
Des. And I'm like,
no. I think her eyes and nose are mine.
Yeah.
And so now I got more questions for my daddy, you know, because it's not far-fetched that could be my blood.
It's not at all.
Not at all.
With the name?
Whoo, child. Anyways, I think that brings us to the end of this episode.
Yes.
Des, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at DesiD18.
You can also find him walking through the malls very slowly.
Very slowly. With a pregnant person on my side.
Or in his dust, because he just can't keep walking that slowly. What?
Why do girls do this thing where they're full, but they have room for dessert?
I don't.
Okay, good.
I can't.
Yeah, because I don't understand.
I'd rather fill up on the meal, though. I'm not a dessert person.
Okay.
But when I'm full, I'm full.
Good. And where can they find you, other than being full?
You can find me doing like a detox rehab program, so I'm not thinking like Des. But on social media, it's at Jonelle Wilson or at Jonelle.Wilson on TikTok. And then, of course, the podcast, This Square Room, on everything. So, yeah, tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
And we will see you next Tuesday.